The ominous encounter. In the heart of the forgotten town of Ravenscroft, cloaked in perpetual twilight, our protagonist, Victoria Harrington, stumbled upon an otherworldly artifact concealed within the dusty shelves of an antique shop. The air crackled with an eerie energy as Victoria's fingers brushed against the weathered surface, revealing a sinister mark etched in obsidian, a mark whispered about in hushed tones by the few who dared acknowledge its existence. As Victoria lifted the artifact, an unsettling chill swept through the room, extinguishing the feeble light of flickering candles. Unbeknownst to her, the moment she made contact with the ancient relic, an invisible thread connected her fate to a malevolent force that had long slumbered in the shadows. That night, Ravenscroft whispered in the wind as Victoria began to experience the first tendrils of the supernatural. Muffled footsteps echoed through her dreams, and the mark on the artifact seemed to pulse with a life of its own. Unsettling symbols appeared in unexpected places: the folds of her curtains, the pattern of her wallpaper, and even the remnants of her morning coffee. Curiosity transformed into apprehension as Victoria's nights became haunted by strange visions, and a spectral figure with piercing eyes seemed to linger at the edge of her perception. The town's ancient lore spoke of a devil's mark, a symbol that bound the living to the realm of the malevolent, and Victoria unwittingly became entangled in its enigmatic web. Unearthly whispers. In the enigmatic town of Ravenscroft, where the echoes of forgotten whispers clung to the air like a haunting melody, our protagonist, Isabella Thornton, continued to unravel the mysteries surrounding the malevolent mark she had unwittingly encountered. The quaint facade of the town concealed a tapestry of secrets, and each step deeper into the enigmatic past only intensified the supernatural undercurrents that now gripped Isabella's reality. Haunted by restless nights, Isabella delved into the dusty archives of Ravenscroft's history, guided by a relentless pursuit of the truth. The town's chronicles spoke of the devil's mark, with a resonance that echoed through the ages, a symbol etched in obsidian that bore the weight of ancient pacts and spectral entities. In her quest for understanding, Isabella sought the counsel of the town historian, a mysterious figure with a penchant for unraveling the threads of the occult. As dusty tomes and weathered manuscripts were laid bare before her, Isabella deciphered the cryptic language of the mark. Each curve and line seemed to tell a story of malevolence, a narrative woven into the very fabric of Ravenscroft's existence. The nights, however, offered no respite. Isabella began to perceive unearthly whispers that seemed to emanate from the shadows themselves. In the stillness of her room, she heard the tormented murmurs of the markhead, voices intertwined with the dark history that the devil's mark concealed. It was as if the spirits of Ravenscroft sought to communicate across the veil, leaving Isabella grappling with the ethereal boundary that now blurred her waking world and dreams. Driven by an insatiable curiosity, Isabella ventured into the outskirts of Ravenscroft, where an ancient graveyard held secrets buried deep within the soil. Symbols identical to those etched on the devil's mark adorned the tombstones, and as Isabella traced their eerie glow with trembling fingers, she felt a connection to a spectral realm that transcended the boundaries of the living. The sinister symbolism. In the heart of Ravenscroft, where the time-worn cobblestone streets cradled the echoes of forgotten tales, Isabella Thornton continued her descent into the occult labyrinth that the devil's mark had unveiled. The ancient town, a repository of malevolent secrets, beckoned Isabella further into its shadows as she sought to unravel the sinister symbolism embedded in the accursed mark that now marked her destiny. Guided by the cryptic pages of Ravenscroft's history, Isabella uncovered a tapestry woven with symbols that transcended time and whispered of a darkness that lurked beneath the town's facade. The devil's mark, she learned, was not a mere coincidence, but a key that unlocked a gateway to a realm where the living and the spectral converged. The pursuit of knowledge led Isabella to the abandoned chapel, where a mural painted in the hues of ancient secrets depicted a hooded figure surrounded by a circle of the marked. Symbols glowed ominously, breathing life into a visual narrative of an ancient pact sealed with blood. The air within the chapel crackled with an otherworldly energy, as if the very walls bore witness to the rituals that had unfolded in the name of the malevolent forces that now tugged at Isabella's reality. As she ventured further into the arcane, Isabella discovered that the Devil's Mark was a conduit for supernatural energy, a channel that bound the mark to a spectral reservoir of malevolence. Each individual etching on the skin seemed to connect to a cosmic tapestry, weaving a narrative of souls ensnared in a sinister dance with forces beyond mortal comprehension. Haunted by these revelations, Isabella sought the guidance of a reclusive sage Rumorid to possess the keys to the occult. Within the sage's dwelling, adorned with ancient runes and esoteric symbols, Isabella shared her encounters with the otherworldly. The sage's eyes gleamed with recognition. The mark, it seemed, was a curse that transcended time, a curse with tendrils reaching into the very fabric of Ravenscroft's existence. The Devil's Bargain. In the dimly lit corners of Ravenscroft, where secrets slumbered like ghosts in the shadows, Isabella Thornton found herself standing at the precipice of a choice that would irrevocably shape her destiny. The pursuit of the occult had led her to a crossroads, where a mysterious figure known only as the Whispering Wanderer emerged from the veil of secrecy to offer Isabella a cryptic bargain. The Wanderer, draped in tattered robes that seemed to absorb the ambient shadows, revealed knowledge that mirrored the whispers of the marked. In a voice that resonated with echoes from the ages, the enigmatic figure spoke of a pact, a choice that had been made by those who bore the Devil's Mark. Throughout history, Isabella, torn between the thirst for understanding and the ever-encroaching darkness that clung to her like a spectral shroud, listened as the Wanderer unveiled the terms of the Devil's Bargain. A decision loomed before her: to embrace the malevolent forces tethered to the mark, or to resist and confront the escalating supernatural tide that threatened to consume Ravenscroft. As the moon cast an ethereal glow upon the deserted streets, Isabella grappled with the weight of her decision. The town seemed to hold its breath, waiting for her choice to reverberate through the invisible threads that connected the living to the spectral realm. The Devil's Bargain, a whispered choice that echoed through the annals of Ravenscroft's history, now beckoned to Isabella with the allure of forbidden knowledge and the promise of power. In the hidden chambers of the occult, Isabella ventured deeper, tracing the threads of fate that intertwined with the Devil's Mark. The ancient symbols seemed to glow with an intensity that mirrored the pivotal moment at hand. Ravenscroft, a town steeped in the rituals of the arcane, awaited the outcome of Isabella's choice, as if the very foundations of its existence were poised on the brink of transformation. Malevolent manifestations. In the wake of Isabella Thornton's fateful encounter with the Whispering Wanderer and the looming decision that hung over her like a spectral veil, Ravenscroft underwent a metamorphosis. The town, once shrouded in the tranquility of forgotten secrets, now pulsated with an unsettling energy that mirrored the tumult within Isabella's own soul. As night descended upon Ravenscroft, Isabella found herself at the epicenter of a malevolent storm. The Devil's Bargain, an ethereal pact that lingered in the air like a whispered curse, had set in motion a chain of events that awakened dormant forces. The symbols etched in the town's forgotten corners seemed to come alive, casting eerie shadows that danced with a sinister rhythm. Isabella's nights became a canvas for supernatural manifestations. Entities, long confined to the shadows, now materialized with an ominous presence. Whispers echoed through the cobblestone streets, carrying with them the lamentations of the marked souls entangled in the cosmic dance that unfolded at the intersection of the living and the spectral. The very fabric of reality seemed to warp as Isabella witnessed spectral figures wandering through Ravenscroft's hidden passages. Ephemeral forms, their features distorted by the weight of their otherworldly torment, reached out to her with ghostly hands that left an ethereal chill in their wake. It was as if the malevolent forces, awakened by the choice that Isabella stood poised to make, sought to bridge the divide between realms. Driven by an inexorable curiosity and an innate sense of responsibility, Isabella delved into the heart of the supernatural maelstrom. The markings on her skin pulsed in tandem with the escalating manifestations, each step further into the occult labyrinth, drawing her closer to the epicenter of the malevolent energy that now gripped Ravenscroft. As Isabella navigated the town's hidden realms, she discovered forgotten rituals and ancient rites that spoke of a cosmic balance disrupted by the Devil's Mark. The very foundations of Ravenscroft seemed to quake with a metaphysical resonance, as if the town itself were a living entity, responding to the choices made by those who dared to confront its deepest mysteries. Midnight rituals. As Ravenscroft plunged further into the abyss of malevolent manifestations, Isabella Thornton found herself ensnared in the intricate tapestry of midnight rituals that bound the living and the spectral in a dance of eldritch dimensions. The Devil's Mark, now a beacon that pulsed with an ominous energy, seemed to guide Isabella toward the heart of the supernatural enigma that gripped the town. Haunted by the echoes of tormented whispers and spectral figures that traversed the veil between worlds, Isabella embarked on a quest to unveil the ancient rituals that had been hidden within Ravenscroft's darkest recesses. The very air within the town crackled with an energy that spoke of cosmic balance disrupted, and the symbols etched into the cobblestone streets seemed to shimmer with an ethereal glow. In the clandestine chambers of occult knowledge, Isabella uncovered forgotten incantations and arcane rites that held the key to understanding the malevolent forces that now held Ravenscroft in their spectral grip. Each ritual, a thread woven into the town's supernatural fabric, hinted at a deeper purpose, a cosmic ballet that unfolded in the witching hours when reality and the ethereal merged. Guided by the ancient texts she unearthed, Isabella traced the ritualistic symbols to a hidden chamber beneath the town's abandoned chapel. The air within this subterranean sanctum hung heavy with the scent of incense and the resonance of forbidden invocations. Symbols, once mere etchings on forgotten pages, adorned the chamber's walls, creating an otherworldly tableau that seemed to transcend time itself. As Isabella delved into the rituals, she became a conduit for the town's arcane energies. The Devil's Mark on her skin seemed to resonate with the symbols around her, forging a connection to a cosmic current that pulsed with a rhythmic cadence. Midnight rituals unfolded, and Ravenscroft, a town suspended in the liminal space between realms, responded to the invocation of ancient powers. Yet, with each ritual enacted, the boundaries between the living and the spectral blurred further. Isabella, now intricately woven into the town's occult tapestry, grappled with the consequences of her actions. Shadows danced with an unnerving glee, and the whispers that accompanied the ritual spoke of a destiny entwined with the malevolent forces that lurked in the town's hidden corners. The Cursed Bloodline. Isabella Thornton's journey through the occult labyrinth of Ravenscroft took an unexpected turn as she uncovered a hidden chapter in the town's history, one entwined with a cursed bloodline that bore the weight of the malevolent forces that now danced at the periphery of her reality. As midnight rituals echoed through the cobblestone streets, Isabella delved into the annals of ancestral doom that pulsed through Ravenscroft's veins. The occult texts Isabella unearthed revealed a lineage steeped in forbidden knowledge, stretching back through generations marked by the Devil's curse. Each member of the Anderson bloodline, it seemed, had become a vessel for the supernatural currents that threaded through the town. The symbols etched into the skin, passed down from ancestor to descendant, became a spectral fingerprint that tied the family to the very heart of Ravenscroft's enigma. Haunted by ancestral echoes, Isabella traced the Thornton bloodline through the crumbling pages of Ravenscroft's forgotten chronicles. The nameless faces of her forebears stared back at her from sepia-toned photographs, their eyes holding a melancholic secret, a secret that now lay bare in the wake of the malevolent forces that had been awakened. In a secluded chamber beneath Ravenscroft's ancient library, Isabella discovered a trove of family relics, each imbued with a supernatural resonance. Yellowed letters, arcane artifacts, and faded portraits hinted at the interplay between the Anderson bloodline and the town's occult legacy. Isabella's great-grandmother, a mysterious figure who had vanished into the shadows of Ravenscroft, emerged as a pivotal link in the chain of ancestral destiny. The symbols on Isabella's skin, once merely an enigmatic mark, now resonated with the echoes of her family's pact with the malevolent forces. It became evident that the Devil's curse was not a random affliction, but a hereditary burden, a macabre birthright that tethered each Anderson to a fate woven into the very fabric of Ravenscroft's existence. As the moon cast an ethereal glow upon the forgotten relics, Isabella stood at the nexus of past and present, grappling with the revelation of her family's role in the town's supernatural tapestry. The occult energies surged through her, and the haunted whispers of her ancestors seemed to beckon her toward a reckoning with the malevolent forces that now sought to claim not only her fate, but the destiny of the Anderson bloodline itself. Confrontation with the otherworldly. As Isabella Anderson delved deeper into the shadows of her family's cursed bloodline, the spectral energies that enveloped Ravenscroft intensified. The symbols etched upon her skin seemed to throb with an otherworldly pulse, resonating with the malevolent forces that lay in wait. The town itself, now a crucible of ancient rituals and ancestral secrets, responded to the crescendo of Isabella's discovery. Guided by the haunted whispers of her ancestors, Isabella traced the threads of her lineage to the heart of Ravenscroft, an abandoned mansion that stood as a silent sentinel, cloaked in a shroud of forgotten memories. In the moonlit courtyard, she discovered a forgotten entrance to a hidden chamber, where the air was heavy with the weight of centuries-old secrets. Within the chamber's confines, Isabella confronted the remnants of her family's pact with the supernatural. Flickering candles cast dancing shadows upon the walls adorned with symbols that mirrored those etched upon her skin. The air seemed to vibrate with an ethereal resonance as Isabella delved into the familial rituals that had bound the Andersons to the town's malevolent legacy. In the dim glow of candlelight, a spectral figure materialized, a manifestation of her great-grandmother, Eleanor Anderson, eyes that held the wisdom of ages locked onto Isabella's, and a voice echoed from the ethereal realm, revealing the truth buried within the family's cursed bloodline. Eleanor spoke of a cosmic balance disrupted by forbidden knowledge, a legacy that demanded both sacrifice and redemption. As Isabella listened to the spectral revelations, the boundaries between the living and the dead blurred. The mansion's walls seemed to dissolve, revealing glimpses of Ravenscroft's haunted history, a history intertwined with the choices made by the Anderson bloodline. The symbols on Isabella's skin glowed with an intensity that mirrored the confrontation between past and present, the tangible and the spectral. Eleanor guided Isabella through a metaphysical journey, unveiling the consequences of the family's interaction with the malevolent forces that lurked within Ravenscroft. Isabella witnessed ancestral figures entwined in the ancient rituals, their faces etched with both torment and determination. The devil's curse, a spectral chain passed down through generations, now demanded resolution. Descent into darkness. Isabella Anderson, now standing at the precipice of revelation and redemption, felt the weight of ancestral secrets pressing upon her like a cosmic burden. The haunted whispers of her family's past lingered in the air as she navigated the shadowy corridors of Ravenscroft's abandoned mansion, each step echoing through the chambers of her soul. In the heart of the mansion, Isabella uncovered a forbidden library, its shelves laden with grimoires and tomes that chronicled the town's darkest rituals. The symbols on her skin pulsed with an ominous glow as she perused the pages that unveiled the consequences of her family's pact with the malevolent forces. It became evident that the Anderson bloodline, once entwined with the town's occult legacy, stood at the nexus of an impending descent into darkness. Guided by the spectral apparition of her great-grandmother, Eleanor, Isabella delved into the labyrinthine passages of the occult manuscripts. Each page revealed a chapter of her family's journey, a journey marked by sacrifices, forbidden alliances, and a relentless pursuit of power that now threatened to consume both the living and the spectral. As Isabella unearthed the details of her family's pact, she became entangled in a web of ancestral choices that echoed through the corridors of time. The Devil's Mark, once a symbol etched in obsidian, now manifested as a living entity, an ethereal imprint of the choices made by generations of the Anderson bloodline. The town itself seemed to pulse with a malevolent heartbeat, responding to the convergence of past and present in an inexorable dance of fate. Haunted by the echoes of her family's transgressions, Isabella stood in a hidden chamber where the walls bore witness to the rituals that had shaped Ravenscroft's destiny. A spectral altar, adorned with symbols that mirror it, the mark on her skin, served as a focal point for the impending descent into darkness. The air crackled with an ethereal energy as Isabella grappled with the inevitability of her role in the malevolent symphony that echoed through the town. Eleanor's voice, tinged with both sorrow and determination, guided Isabella toward a profound realization. The descent into darkness held not only the weight of ancestral sins but also the potential for redemption. The symbols on Isabella's skin seemed to resonate with a newfound purpose, as if the very fabric of Ravenscroft's existence hung in the balance. Resonance of redemption. Isabella Anderson, now fully immersed in the shadows of Ravenscroft's haunted history, embarked on a journey that would define the destiny of her family and the malevolent forces entwined with the town's legacy. The hidden chamber within the abandoned mansion resonated with an ethereal energy, echoing the convergence of past and present as Isabella confronted the looming descent into darkness. Guided by the spectral presence of her great-grandmother Eleanor, Isabella stood before the symbolic altar, a nexus where the Anderson bloodline and the malevolent forces converged in a cosmic dance. The symbols on her skin pulsed with an otherworldly glow, each beat echoing the ancestral choices that had bound the family to the supernatural currents of Ravenscroft. In the stillness of the chamber, Eleanor's voice wove through the air, recounting tales of sacrifice, forbidden knowledge, and the relentless pursuit of power that had shaped the Anderson bloodline. As Isabella listened to the spectral revelations, the very walls seemed to vibrate with the weight of centuries-old secrets. The revelation of the family's pact unveiled not only the darkness that had gripped Ravenscroft, but also the potential for redemption. Isabella, marked by the choices of her ancestors, stood at the crossroads of a cosmic balance, disrupted, poised to reclaim the town's legacy from the malevolent forces that sought to claim it. Eleanor guided Isabella toward an ancient ritual, a ritual that held the key to breaking the spectral chain that bound the Anderson bloodline. The symbols on the altar, resonating with Isabella's essence, became a conduit for the town's supernatural energies. Each movement in the ritual seemed to harmonize with the rhythmic cadence of Ravenscroft's pulsating heartbeat. As Isabella enacted the ritual, the boundaries between the living and the spectral blurred. Shadows danced with an ethereal grace, and the symbols on her skin intertwined with the unseen forces that lingered in the chamber. Ravenscroft, a witness to its own hidden history, responded to the resonance of redemption as if the very fabric of its existence was being rewoven. In the crescendo of the ritual, Isabella felt a surge of otherworldly power coursing through her veins. The symbols on her skin seemed to meld with the ancient markings on the altar, creating a luminous tableau that transcended the darkness that had haunted Ravenscroft for generations. The town itself seemed to exhale a spectral sigh, as if the malevolent forces momentarily subdued retreated into the shadows.